Hi, Paul Sackis speaking to Sherrill Mossee. Hi, Sherrill. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I received this book that has your name on it. Congratulations. It's called Professor, May I Bring My Baby to Class? A Student Mother's Guide to College, with a journal and real-life success stories. And you're the founder and president of Family Care Solutions, a nonprofit organization in Philadelphia. And yes, Mommy can. Yes, Mommy can what?
Yes, Mommy can go to college with a child. Yes, Mommy can graduate high school with a child. And yes, Mommy can be successful with a child.
Yay! Because the reality is, having a child is the most success that Mommy ever could have, if you ask me. And Daddy.
That's right.
It's the most beautiful aspect of our humanity.
Yes, but unfortunately for a teen mother who has a child, less than half, about 40%, will graduate high school. So the message is to let the young people know that they can go to school even though that they have a child.
Or are there laws that state, public school laws that say you cannot bring your child to class?
You know, I don't know for sure about that. I know that there are some schools that are set up where children can take their schools. That we're talking about high schools there. There's schools set up specifically for the mother and the child, or the father and the child, where they have child care in the school. But as far as colleges, I don't believe that there are any rules.
Okay.
Certainly, if the professor allows and the class agrees, then maybe once or twice a mom can bring in the child if the babysitter wasn't able to keep the child. But I don't believe that that should be a norm. Definitely should not be a norm, because you have young people that are paying to go to college, so you don't. It's not the place for children.
What's your website again?
FCS Books, as in Frank, Charlie, Sam Books.
Right.
.com.
CSBooks.com. Okay, I got it now. Okay, I'm sorry. So you don't think that, high school, well, let's stick with high school now, okay, because they're young and they're, in essence, often this isn't something that's been planned for. Would you say that's accurate comment?
Plan to have a baby?
Yeah.
No. I think these are unplanned. I believe most of these are unplanned.
Okay, so even if we said 50% were unplanned, so it's sort of a difficult situation. And you have stories of different people. So what happened? What is the basic scenario? And you're already given a big statistic that 40% don't even finish high school.
Yeah.
So how can we improve upon this? What's your thinking?
My thinking is to provide more support services to help teens, number one, stay in school, high school, graduate, and then help them to transition from high school to college. There aren't enough programs to help them transition from high school to college. There aren't enough programs to provide the support services to let young people know that indeed they can go to college, and that there are colleges and universities across the country that provide support services for student parents that will help them become successful.
Okay. And do you think that your message and writing this book, Professor, May I Bring My Baby to Class, is to get into maybe some of the legislatures and to the politicians, because in essence school is governed by state and city and federal, isn't it?
Yeah, higher education is the essence of our communities, our families. It's what pull us out of poverty. Oftentimes when we don't really think about that, if we don't support these students now, if we don't support these teen mothers now, that we will be paying for them basically for the rest of their lives, with social services, with support in the prison systems. So if we can invest in our young people now and help them stay in school and go to college and make that investment the 4 to 6 years, then it's evident that they will, be able to take care of themselves now that they have a post-secondary degree, that they'll earn an income to be able to take care of themselves and their families. And that's what we all want.
I'm on that same page. It's actually kind of a little bit confusing, the whole situation, because in essence, I don't know what this is, prevention, but an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. It's like we have situations, let's deal with them so they don't become much larger, right?
Right.
And we know that those formative years, schooling, especially if we're sticking with the high school kids, right? Mm-hmm. It's so important that they show been seen love and that it all just works, right? I mean, in many cases, these are situations where I guess the parents can't be there because they're trying to make a living as well, right?
Absolutely. These are young people that unfortunately didn't listen to anybody, and they had unprotected sex, and now they have a baby. This book is about, now that you have the baby, what are you going to do to be able to provide a better life for yourself? And that's what we do with the short stories in the book. They include stories from women from across the country on how they overcome their obstacles and face their challenges to pursue higher education. And what I want people to see, what I want teen mothers to see, is themselves in these stories. These are young women who overcome homelessness, poverty, domestic abuse, and they've continued on. And sometimes if we can see ourselves in these stories, because for the most part, they may be the same story. And if they can say, well, this person did it, maybe I can do the same thing.
What inspired you personally to do this?
Actually, a combination of activities, but I'll say these two things. My stepdaughter became pregnant during her first year of college. Fortunately, she had family to help her care for the baby while she was in school. And then the second thing was a story that my mother shared with me. My mother was a teenage mother at the age of 16 with my older brother. And she had always wanted to go to college, and she worked really hard and kept up her grades. And when she shared that letter with my grandmother, her acceptance letter to go to school with my grandmother, her mother, my grandmother said, you're not going anywhere. Your college education is standing right in front of you. And so when I hear that story, I think about the thousands of others, young people whose dreams were snipped away by the very people that we depend on. And had she had the opportunity to go to college, then my life growing up, or my siblings, our lives would have definitely been different. And so through this book, I want people to see that they can go to school, with the college, with the baby.
Okay, so we need to get this out into the hands of all those mothers. And how about fathers? How does that play out? Because in essence, sometimes that happens as well, right? The father is, it's not a mother-father household, and now the father is with the child. Same thinking?
The same thinking, absolutely. I believe there should be a family support system there. The father should support the mother should support the father, and, just the impact that both of them being involved in their child's life greatly impacts the outcome of where the child is going to go. I mean, when the parents are successful, it's most likely that the child will be successful in school and go to college as well.
And the important thing, or a thing hopefully that happens more so, is that the parents, whether they're together or not, still show love to the child.
Absolutely.
And forget about their own ways and or difficulties or the inability to be together, and there still be with the child.
Right, absolutely, to support and love the child.
Mother and father.
mother, father.
Okay, we love that kind of thinking. No matter what, you might not get along with the mom and the dad, but the child is in essence is a responsibility that you take, whether you took it in a serious manner or whether you took it in a I guess a fun night manner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have it now, and you need to come to the table here and be respectful and responsible.
Absolutely. And what are we going to do to provide for the future of our child?
That's a good thing. Well, congratulations. So what's good news for you?
The good news is that the book is finished, and we can spread the word. We can let people know that they can be successful in school with a child.
I suggest you send the book, a copy, to the Department of Education of America.
Okay.
For real. I forgot her name. Shulana? Is that Shula? I don't know. I interviewed her. But Donna Shula? Is that? I'm not sure now. Maybe that was the old administration. I don't know. But I suggest you send this to, those kinds of decision makers.
That's right.
To read this and maybe to recommend then, or maybe to the PTA system here, the president of the PTA system of this country. Some leaders who can get a book like this and maybe get it into the libraries of the world.
I appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.